Well, one of the weird things about doing documentaries is that you're only taking the picture from a little narrow slice of reality, because a tremendous amount of stuff's going on around you. A whole lot of things are affecting what's happening that's not going to be apparent when you're watching it on a screen. And I couldn't show all the activity behind the camera, which isn't, you might have a sound person, you might have a whole bunch of onlookers looking over the camera's shoulder to look at you while you're trying to concentrate on the lens. But the part that I tried to get in was some of the underlying ethos of what the ethnographic filmmaker does, some idea of how they approach the subject, what was going on in their heads. And I was very lucky. I was making a film about Edmund Carpenter, and Bob Gardner was there in the room when we were shooting, and David McDougall was supposed to come, and John Marshall was supposed to come, and they didn't come to this event. So I thought I was making that film, and I had a little mini DV camera and started making pictures of other filmmakers that I met at meetings and at film festivals. And then the film that I'd started ended up being really about Edmund Carpenter, and I had all this other footage, but I'd gotten in the habit of carrying my camera with me and bearding people and saying, "Oh, let's just have a few minutes of talk, nothing too heavy, nothing too serious." And I ended up with quite a stack of interesting short conversations with people, and I would use them occasionally in classes to illustrate a point, or when I showed one of their films, I'd show a little bit to introduce the filmmaker. And then I realized that they were of some historical interest, and they brought up a lot of important topics about this kind of filmmaking. The fact that an ethnographic filmmaker is more interested in the feelings of their subject than they are about selling it to an audience. It's supposed to be true to the people that you're working with. And so I finally chained myself to an editing bench and made a film out of it. It's not the kind of film I usually make, because it was all talking heads. It was talk, talk, talk. I tried to edit it so it moved along like a conversation, but most of the time the kind of film that I like to do is a small camera, nimble on foot, trying to find in events, trying to discover their shape as it was happening, trying to construct something that I could make, so I could represent reality to an audience. And that's not easy. I mean, it's not a matter of having a camera and just pointing it and, oh, there's some reality. You have to you have to have it in your head, how you're constructing it, how you have the different pieces so you can recreate the feeling that you had as being there. It's a lot of fun. I wouldn't want to do anything but. I wouldn't want to do feature films where you sit around for 2 hours and then walk through a doorway and then relight to get another shot. Get 2 or 3 minutes of good footage a day. I like to just pile it on and be really exhausted at the end of the day or the end of the night, and discover things. Not be there to write a report, but to discover what's going on. Discover things that, even though when you go in you think you know what the subject is, you get new insights in the process of shooting, and again, more understanding and insights when you edit it and you see the subtle things that you might have missed in the actual moment of shooting. And I think that's about it, because I'm going to start saying and ah, and if I continue.